Our digital art notion study guide asks that you guys draw the planes of the face on top of human head photos, and then that was for week 4. And then for week 5, to locate a few of the skeleton parts, fat pads, and muscles on the human body. This week we're going to combine week 4 and week 5 because last week I was a little too sick to make a video. We're too poor to hire subs. Please donate to my coffee. Okay, we're gonna do some of these exercises together. So our first homework task was to find the planes of the face. I'm gonna show you exactly how I like to do it. Angel does it a different way. If you're already doing the practice in his way, you don't have to change your method. Or if you chose to go on 21 Draw or go on the Sam Does Arts video, you guys can go do that. This is a method that I developed after studying from them, and then, I don't know, kind of just practicing on my own, I guess, and watching other YouTube videos. I kind of merge into one information altogether, something like that. First, I like to find the big 3D shapes. I like to locate the sphere. On the side, the sphere is more like an oval than like a round thing. The more the head turns, the more ovally it gets. And then from the front, the one all the way on the right side, it's like it's actually more like a circle. The jaw, I show it as a cone shape. The one on the right, it's a little funky because she's like turned to the front. She has a very square jaw, so her jaw came out a little more square than cone-like, I don't know. Kind of do the neck as like a sphere looking thing. Lower the opacity down, and then I sketch on top. The forehead, I like to separate into 3s. The side of the face, I kind of make this little curve, and then right in the middle of the eye, I draw a line, and then it becomes like a little like concaved area. With the lips, there's like 4 shapes at the top, and on the bottom there are 2 shapes. I also like to mark the eyebrows. The nose shape can be grouped into a simple shape, like 1 up here, 2 on the side, and then 1 on the bottom, depending on which way the face is tilted. Like if you notice on this one, I mark the bottom of the lip because that part shows right there. I also like to outline the eyes and stuff, so that shows, and his mustache, yeah. These are some shapes that face upwards that I really liked. As Angel said, there is a plane on top of the eyebrows. I like to also sometimes show that next to the lips is a triangle of highlight. In the Notion study guide, I forgot to say how many times to do this practice. I forgot to include that, TBH. In your own time, you could practice this as much as you want, but for the homework, 2 is enough. And remember, the more you practice this, the more you can commit more of this to memory, which will then be useful in your own practice. As for the planes, getting all the planes that Angel mentioned would probably be the most beneficial in terms of knowledge, but if you like to simplify them in the way that I did, go ahead, that's fine too. I don't really care as long as you come out knowing more than you did before. And personally, I don't really care about having all of the different planes, so yeah. Here I'm going to show you guys an example of how I took this study and then used it to study. Just to make sure if you post it anywhere, you tell people that this was the sketch layer was traced or whatever, and this was a study. First I put down the flat colors, and then I put the shadows where I see them in the photo, them on the same like plane areas, like facing the same way. That's what kind of you could use like the study for. And you just kind of slowly build up from a light shadow to darker shadow. Moving on, now for the body. We learned about general proportions in week 3, I think. And for sketching, the more landmarks, the merrier, always. Why? Because knowing more landmarks in the body helps create more accurate sketches. Drawing the skeleton, fat, and muscles is something that I practiced a lot when I first started out, and I would frequently refer to in my own notes as I drew. We're gonna use these 3 diagrams that I found online. The links are also in my bio. Description box below. In the homework, I ask you guys to locate the clavicle, scapula, sternum, and pelvis of the skeleton in the photos, and the deltoid, triceps, biceps, pectoralis, abs, rectus femoris, sartorius, and bicep femoris, if you can see it, because that's on the back of the leg. And for the fat pads, just locate all the ones in the diagram. There's not much anyways. Well, okay, let's do a few of them together. I'm just going to use a different color for each of the different groups. For the skeleton, I'm using blue. It's really easy, you just kind of locate them. I love drawing the abs, or like going over the abs. You can really see like the direction of the pose and the movement in the pose. The fat pads was interesting. It's something I noticed more in my drawings when more flesh was shown in my reference photos. I'm going to show you guys another example of what it could look like on a not so muscular one. You could see like the lines of these fat pads better. I didn't really go over them very well. This is a drawing that I did recently. I don't really use the method it anymore where I find the landmarks that we use here, but in my earlier practices I used a lot more of them. Well, actually, let me see if I can find my notebook. I don't know where my notebook is. We have now reached the end of the video. Thank you to everyone who did their homework. Thank you to 21 Draw for sponsoring our competition again. They're giving our winners unlimited access to their courses on their website for a whole entire year. That's a lot. Okay guys, that is all. I still feel a little sick. Good luck and see you guys next week.